Welcome to Ask the Yoga Therapist with HolisticYogaTherapyInstitute.com. My name is Chris Cubb, and I'm a physical therapist and a yoga therapist and director of the curriculum for HolisticYogaTherapyInstitute.com. We have a question that comes to us today from Chris Myers of Oregon. She asks, how do you know when you need to stretch a particular muscle or just quiet it with a more restorative approach? This is a great question, Chris. Thank you so much for sending it in. When I consider whether a muscle that is affecting me needs to be stretched or quieted, I think about a lot of things. First of all, let's consider a muscle that we might want to stretch. Why would we want to stretch it? Well, if that muscle is shortened to the point that it's affecting our alignment, then that's a muscle that definitely would benefit from some lengthening. An example of a muscle that frequently is stiff and tight in a lot of people is the pectoralis minor. And when it's stiff and tight, it tends to pull the shoulder forward, which affects the biomechanics as we lift our arm, making it more difficult to lift your arm without compressing in the rotator cuff area. So if I notice that a muscle is stiff or tight and it's affecting someone's alignment, I for sure want to do some things to help lengthen the muscle and create space. But we're also going to consider other things that are going on. What contributed to that muscle being shortened? Is it muscles around the area that are underactive that need to be more awakened? Is it a lifestyle change that has happened with that person? Perhaps they're working more at the computer in a set postural position, which has created the shortening. Are they depressed? Do they have an emotional issue going on that has caused the forward shoulders? All these things take into consideration, and we not only just stretch the muscle, but we look at the big picture, the holistic picture. Another thing to consider when I'm thinking about a muscle that we might want to quiet is this a muscle that tends to be on all the time? An example of a muscle that frequently needs to be quieted is the hip flexor muscle, the iliopsoas. I know myself as a cyclist have a very overactive iliopsoas. I feel like it's on all the time. I feel it when I'm sitting and when I'm resting. And even though I might feel intuitively that I might want to stretch it and stretch it and stretch it, that really hasn't helped me much. What has started to help is doing activities which quiet that muscle, restorative poses to have that muscle let go. And then also the same as we did with the stiff muscle, looking at why is that muscle overactive? What's going on that has contributed to that dominance? Is it the activity I'm doing? Is it a postural set because I'm tense? Do I hold my tension there? Or is it the muscles around the area that are maybe underactive that need to be awakened to create balance? All these things have an effect. So what we're going to do is look at a person holistically and look at the big picture to decide whether a muscle needs to be quieted or it needs to be stretched. To find out more about our teacher training programs and our yoga therapy programs, visit us at yogaclub.us or HolisticYogaTherapyInstitute.com. Thank you so much.